crazy how all that just collects at the end there. Just nuts.
What's up, legends? Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I want to show you how I was able to fix a pretty insane nozzle clog on my bambulab A1. Now there's a bit of time lapse on this video, but I'll go everything I did and tell you what's going on and show you the finished result. All right, now we got this time lapse video going. First of all, I just tried disassembling the printer head here. Took out as many screws as I could, as this was my first time taking apart one of these, so really wasn't sure what I was doing. But yeah, as you can see, that print right there is just stuck to the head of the 3D printer nozzle, and it would not budge. It would not come off, and it was pretty crazy. It was gunked up all the way up inside the print head, behind the print head, just everywhere. And this is me just trying to figure out what screws I really need to undo to like where to begin, you know? So I took off these lower screws here, and that gave me a little bit of leeway because some of that filament was actually stuck up between the print head and that gray piece down there on the bottom, the piece that I just took the screws out of. And this wasn't budging at all. So it was pretty rough. So I decided that I just needed to really probably just heat up the nozzle. So I turned it on, cleared off the plate a little bit, got everything out of the way, all the extra debris and whatnot. And then I just started turning up the nozzle temperature. I think I started at like 100, and then ended up going to like 250, the max setting, because 100 didn't really seem to work. And so here it feels like it's kind of getting a little bit loose. I thought maybe I can cut some of it. I really wasn't confident that was going to work. And so there was another screw back in the back there that I thought maybe I'd undo, but I really didn't think I had to. So I kind of just waited for this thing to heat up. And I knew it would probably take a while because it's going to be heating up a lot of filament. And so you got to let that heat soak through the big blob that was at the end of that nozzle there. And I kept just like wiggling it here and there. I wasn't trying to be too rough with it because I wasn't really aware what any kind of like wires that might be in there that I might be tugging on, or any of the heating element stuff. So I was trying to be gentle but a little forceful because I wasn't sure how much force it was going to actually take to get this thing off. And here I ended up turning off the fan. I think I had the fan on, which was probably messing with it, actually getting all of that PETG to melt. And this, by the way, is PETG that was on here. And here you can see I'm starting to make some progress. I can see that it's getting looser and looser. And so I'm just wiggling and wiggling and just trying to get this thing undone. I really don't know how to lock the printer from going up and down. That was kind of annoying. But yeah, as you can see here, it's like a little bit by little bit, it's becoming a little bit more malleable. And I thought maybe I can like get in there and cut with the pliers, but it just, I don't know, it just wasn't really working out. But as you can see, like right here is when I get a little bit more, I'm twisting it back and forth. And it's working. It's just taking a while for that filament to start melting. And then here I don't know what to do. I grab some pliers. I'm like, maybe I can get a good grip on it. And then here's when it really starts coming off. So I start twisting it, and pretty soon you're gonna be able to see this craziness that this is. And yeah, that is wild. All that was stuck to that print head. And yeah, from the pictures here, like that's just nuts. So, the print head clogged, or, it got too close to the plate or something. And then that little piece stuck to the print head, and then it just kept printing and just printing with inside that big glob, almost like lava or something. But yeah, so I got that gray piece off on the bottom. That's like the fan to cool whatever you're printing. And then this was nice and easy to take off. Everything was pretty much a little bit easier after I got that big glob off. But now it came to trying to clean this off, trying to get all these little pieces of PETG out, and just, meticulously going through this, because if I could say, I didn't even know if this was broken. I didn't know if it would still work after this, but I wanted to make sure I cleaned everything up so if it, was still working, cool. And if it wasn't, then I tried everything I could, cleaned it all up to get it working again. And there was a bunch of more filament, as you can see, I'm pulling out the back. And there was a lot like around some wires in the back there. But I did kind of just get what I could. I didn't get in there too much because I didn't want to risk, breaking any of those wires or loosening them from their connections or whatever. So I just went real easy with that. And then, here comes the process of me getting all this little pieces of, melted PETG there off. And it's kind of hard. It just took a lot of patience, a shop towel or two. These are microfiber towels that I'm actually using. And I'm like super careful. I don't want to burn myself. And so I'm like, tapping these metal pieces to make sure I don't burn myself. And this microfiber towel actually worked pretty well. It was picking up all of this melted filament, and it would stick right to that microfiber towel. It was perfect. And so here I think I'm deciding to just go ahead and put this piece back on. There's nothing much more I can do with getting the filament from the bottom and the back. And like I said, I didn't want to disturb any of those wires back there. And so I just kind of left it. And it wasn't like too terrible back there, but there was some residual and leftover filament back there. And so I'm just kind of putting, those screws back in. I guess I didn't even need to worry about taking those out in the first place. But like I said, I hadn't taken one of these apart before. And so I wasn't sure what I was going to need to disassemble. So yeah, I've got these guys putting those back in. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put this back on. The rest of the issue is just on the clasp that holds in the 3D printing head. I forget what the actual name of it is. But just getting that clasp cleaned up. So, you can easily put in that head, and, take it out, swap it out for different sizes or new ones, whatever. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing here, is getting all this back together. And then up here is going to come the interesting part of me trying to clean out all that filament from the clasps there. Yeah, and I think I had turned off the printer so it wasn't hot anymore. Yeah, so like none of this was hot, but I think if I remember correctly, it's not going to get hot until you have the head in there. So I was like thinking I just clean off the head, and if I can get that in there and then I can heat it again, then I can try and scrape out all that extra filament that's around those clasps and get all that cleaned up. But I had to do that while it was on because it just wasn't going to come off when it wasn't warm or hot. Okay, and so here I couldn't really get the print head in there because there was that extra filament in there. So I decided, maybe I just heat it up, and as it heats up, that'll melt, and then I could be able to push that print head back into there, and then I could get those clasps to secure. And so that's what's going on here. And it heated up enough to where I could get those clasps, get the print heads set all the way back in there, and then get those clasps to close over that print head there. And yeah, I think we got it there. So now with all that warmed up, those clasps are nice and hot. The print head's nice and hot. And this is where I'm, just taking this towel, and this stuff sticks to it really well. It's actually worked out pretty decent. So I was just using this. And there's a lot of just residue in there. And I decided to get one of the tools from the bambulabs and just, stick it into the microfiber towel there, and then just kind of scrape around with it. And it was picking up everything. It actually worked out pretty well. And I was getting as much of this stuff I could. It's just crazy. You can see it's like gum. And as soon as you clean one spot, there's more in another spot. But it's messy. It's real messy. But you just got to work at it. It's going to take a little bit of time. And yeah, we're just going at it right here. And so I got as much cleaned up as I could. It's looking pretty good. And then I just kind of get with that fine point needle and clean out this print head, remove any possible clogs that are in there. Take it down from here. All right. That's not bad. Pretty decently cleaned up. I already put this back up there, but there was some more gunk up behind here while filament up in here that was melted around the wires, and I'm not really trying to mess with that because I really don't want to break the wires or risk damaging them or anything like that. So I'm just gonna leave that. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna try printing something on this, something real simple, and we'll see how it turns out. All right, let's wrap this video up. We've got all this left over, the aftermath. This actually worked pretty well. I kind of just, stuck this guy in there, and as that filament cooled, because this was coming in contact with it, it just kind of pulled it all out and dried pretty quickly. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of know how to fix that when that happens. That's my first time having to switch that out, or not even switch it out. I thought I was gonna have to switch the whole unit out. But that's the first time I've had to fix that, so that was kind of bittersweet. I mean, it was cool learning something new, but it kind of sucked because I was down for a couple days, and I just had time finally today on my day off to get working on it. So yeah, this is wild though. It's just crazy how all that just collects at the end there. Just nuts. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully this is somewhat entertaining for you guys. It's kind of fun for me. Hopefully it's fun for you. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, legends. Looks like we got it. Good layer adhesion. That's almost nearly perfect. Got a little ridge on here that printed very well. I think we're back in business. Let's go.